But here's what NBC New York was reporting. So from New York, they say multiple arrests made after suspicious devices were found outside Gracie Mansion, home of the mayor. Zohran, during an anti-Islam rally and counter-protest. Kind of, wait a minute. So the anti-Islamists were the ones creating IED? Is how they're framing it. They got this so wrong that they got a community note on this. Here's what they say. The bombs were thrown at the anti-Muslim protesters. The anti-Muslim protesters did not throw the bombs. They were the recipients of the bomb throwing, not by the anti-Muslim protesters, as this post and the story would lead you to believe, because they're scammers. Witnesses say the attackers shouted Allahu Akbar as they threw the bombs at the protesters, hoping that they would go off. And we see some video footage of this from a different angle. Let's watch this one from News to Share from Fort Fisher. And here is where the cops are. There's a little bit of a barricade here. And this maniac is going to run up and start lobbing the bombs. Let's fast forward a little bit. Now he's running away. Completely chaotic. And there is some smoke in the street. A lot of people there recording, taking footage. And there's a picture of it right there. Look at that thing. Now, I don't know what's inside that. We don't know what is. Those guys are pretty brave to go stand up right next to it. Let me get as close to this bomb as I can possible and take pictures of it. And we're glad that we can see it, but that does not look like anything that is minor or insignificant. Looks like that could cause some serious damage if it went off. Fortunately, these guys apparently are idiots, and we're glad about that. Here he is again, right there. Cops arresting him. Don't know if that was filled with shrapnel or what kind of mayhem that could have caused. There's Jake Lang. And Jake Lang obviously is causing a lot of ruckus, right? He's provoking a lot of response to his protest, not the type that warrants any type of violence or explosions popping off around the activity. So that was one angle on this. And we've got some more angles. Here's a video and a clear footage of the guy lighting it right there. And you can see just in the short video right here what that looked like. Lights it and then runs away after they realize that he's now caught. Looks like he drops it and then continues to run away. So fortunately, man, those things did not go off. That would have been an absolute disaster. But here's more from their fake article. They say 2 people were taken into custody. The incident occurred as an anti-Islam demonstration led by Jake Lang, and a counter-protest were underway, said the police commissioner, Tish. There's multiple Tishes in New York. Tish said earlier that she did not believe Mamdani or Daji, the first lady, were inside the mansion at the time, but the police department clarified Saturday night that Mamdani was in the residence. Mamdani spokesman said the mayor and his wife were both safe. Here's another video of this. Guy drops it right there. You can see it's smoking. That cop, look at that guy's. Oh, crap. That does not look good. It's not good. And there may be a lot more of this that's percolating because we brought in hundreds of thousands of these people across the years. It's sick. So he drops. That could have been the end of the life of this guy, potentially. Fortunately for us, that did not happen. Bomb squad examined the devices, described as being smaller than a football, said that they appeared to be a jar wrapped in black tape with nuts, bolts, screws, and a hobby fuse. Okay, it would have maimed a bunch of people. And these guys did it. We do not know whether the devices were functional, whether they were IED devices or hoax devices, because we don't yet know if there was energetic material that was contained in them, both transported for further analysis. The protest was called Stop the Islamic Takeover of New York, Stop New York City Public Muslim Prayer. And we've seen video, obviously I haven't validated any of it, but that they're ringing their prayer sermons over the calls to prayer over the loudspeakers in New York. And it's not good there. Run the Nazis Out of New York drew 125 demonstrators at its peak. So there's more of Jake Lang. At 12:15, one protester from the group, the Lang group, fired pepper spray. And then shortly thereafter, a counter protester, which they finally get to at the bottom of this article, lit and threw an ignited device. Who was the counter protester? It landed in the crosswalk. Witnesses reported seeing the flames and smoke. The counter protester then ran and got a second device from another 19-year-old man. The 18-year-old then lit the device, ran with it, dropped it on the west side after he was found. Both individuals taken into custody. NYPD said no charges have been filed as of Saturday. The men are from Pennsylvania. Law enforcement said that they were headed there to speak to their relatives, or going to speak to their relatives, sources told New York. Here's another close-up of this bomb. which it looks like it could be absolutely packed with a lot of material. No immediate indication the incident is related to the hostilities in Iran. Yeah. The FBI's Joint Terrorism Task Force joined the investigation. After the devices were seen, officers established a safety perimeter and launched a search, including canine sweeps, manual canvassing for potential additional devices. None had been found as of Saturday. Overall, 6 people were arrested, the 2 men responsible for this, and the person who deployed the pepper spray, 3 others for disorderly conduct, and obstruction. Mamdani is the New York's first Muslim mayor, and this was held during the Holy Month. I know, poor Muslims. Cavallio condemned the Lang protest as despicable and Islamophobic. Right. Do you want to condemn the Islamists who are throwing bombs filled with nuts, bolts, and other explosives? Lang couldn't be reached for comment, and Lang's the bad guy here for going out and protesting. He's trying to be there peacefully protesting. You may not agree with his perspective on it, but he's allowed to do it, and he's allowed to do it without getting exploded by Muslim agitators. So Bill Malugin says they're foreigners. They came in here. They're naturalized citizens. And this whole citizen thing, I'm a citizen, so therefore I'm a true American. Spare me the lecture, okay, Mamdani. They lie in their naturalization forms. Mamdani is an open communist. He wouldn't admit it, but he's said that many times before. Communist ideology. Through his naturalization proceedings, you're supposed to be honest on your naturalization forms and say, I believe in the American economic system. I believe in the American ideology and American values, but they really don't. So they then become citizens, and then they exploit their citizenship to do whatever they want in our country and apparently attack Americans. Now, there's more on this because Mamdani is now saying, don't come after my wife. His wife, called Rama Duwaji, he says she's not a public figure. And people discovered that she was actually liking social media posts that were celebrating the Hamas 10/7 attack. So in other words, they're in favor of these types of attacks, according to the New York Post, saying that he claimed his wife isn't a public figure. Okay, leave her alone. Yes, you are a public figure. You're the wife to the mayor of New York. There was uproar after her liking social media posts that celebrated other terror attacks over in Israel. She's a socialist. He's a Democrat socialist. There's the wife right there. And she was confronted during an unrelated event and was liking Instagram posts that shared graphic imagery of the terror attack and the murderous rampage over in Israel. My wife is the love of my life, and she's a private person, and she's held no formal position in anything. So don't ask me about her. I, however, was elected to represent everybody. And so don't talk about my wife. Keep my wife's name out your mouth. Haji has been a mainstay in the public spotlight recently, appearing on the digital cover of so they're all elevating her. And I'm sure many agree with her in New York. I realized it was not just his thing or our thing. So they're all puffing her up, profiling her artwork and fashion during Mamdani's first few months. And Mamdani says, please don't talk about her because it makes me look like I love terrorism, which maybe they do. Here is this short clip from Mamdani.
Is it anybody's business, and is it fair to question you about it?
My wife is the love of my life, and she's also a private person who has held no formal position on my campaign or in my city hall. I, however, was elected to represent all.
Okay, do you agree with her liked post or not? Did you guys have a conversation about this? Do you think it's cool to kill people, Mamdani, in the name of your religion? Yes or no?
8.5 million people in the city. And I believe that it's my responsibility, because of that role, to answer any questions about my thoughts and my policies in my city.
Okay, follow-up question should be, do you agree with her liked post? Did you have a conversation with her about that or not? And of course, nobody really wants to dive into that. So the attack happened. They're trying to frame this as though it's like a white supremacist thing or an anti-Islamic terrorist attack, when it turns out it's more like an Islamic terror attack. And I think this might be the video here where they actually say, Allahu Akbar. I had a great one queued up. Hopefully I have that somewhere. And we got to see it because this one guy had a great video of this. Where did it go? Let's see if I can find it here. No, it's not that one. Apologies. It was like a TikTok video. Maybe I didn't open it up.